This video, I want to show you some of the really awesome features that PyAutoGUI has related to keyboard functions. So we won't be using too many of them, but even with just a few, you can get a lot done. So for those of you who don't know, PyAutoGUI is a way to automate your desktop using Python. So you can automate mouse movements, key presses, keyboard shortcuts. Almost anything you do with your mouse and keyboard can be automated using PyAutoGUI. So before I get started, I wanted to tell you that all of the things we'll be covering are in the documentation for PyAutoGUI. Documentation is very helpful when you're learning something new with programming. And the ones that we'll be focusing on today, or at least the features of PyAutoGUI we'll be focusing on, are typewrite, this function, and hotkey. With just those two functions, we can get an insane amount of things done. So some examples of things we can do with that include opening any application on the computer, writing emails automatically, checking on statuses on different websites, opening up as many tabs as you want to different videos and games and all kinds of stuff. You can build homework checkers, so you know press one thing, you can even bind this to a keyboard shortcut and it automatically opens up all the things you need to get your homework done. So let's start simple. At the top of our program, we need to import the module, right? So the way that we import PyAutoGUI is like this. Import PyAutoGUI, and we're going to do it like this. Import PyAutoGUI as PG. So import PyAutoGUI tells Python tells the computer that it's going to use functions from this module, PyAutoGUI, and the last part indicates that we are going to use the nickname PG. Essentially, this is a nickname. So later on in our program, when we start using pg.typewrite and pg.hotkey, we don't need to write out the word PyAutoGUI for every single line of code. So let's start simple. We're going to do pg.hotkey, and I want to press the Windows key. So I'm going to make my program do essentially this. Presses the Windows key, which will open up the Windows menu. And I'll explain why that's incredibly helpful in a second. So as we scroll through the documentation, we want to find something that can help us. And at the bottom, we have a list of all the possible keys that we could press with PyAutoGUI, and I'm going to use Win Left. It's the left Windows key on my keyboard. So before I add anything else to this program, let's just run it. We'll save it and run it. I'll save it to the desktop, and I'm just going to give this a name like test keys with my initials there. Now you see how when I ran this file, it pressed that Windows button. I'm going to run it one more time. It happens almost instantly. Press run, and boom, the Windows menu pops up. So why is that helpful? Well, I can open any application from here without using the mouse. Let's choose Chrome, for example. I can type in Chrome, and notice how the results filter to this application. And I don't even have to move my mouse to Chrome. I can just press enter, and it opens it right up. So PG hotkey, pressed a key on my keyboard. PG.typewrite is what's going to let me type a message. Now notice how when I started the parentheses here, I see things like in this yellow box, it says message, interval, pause. So what I want to do is I'm going to start by entering my message. That message is just going to be the word Chrome and a special character that tells the computer to hit enter. Interval is the amount of seconds in between each key press. So I'm going to demonstrate what I mean by that. All right. Up here, I'm going to write Chrome. and we'll do /n. Notice the direction of that slash. This tells the computer to press return. That's like the end of our search. So we're going to have our program do this. It's going to hit Windows left, type Chrome, and then press enter to actually select Chrome, the application. Okay, so over here, I'm going to try something like, let's do 0.5. This will take half a second between every key that needs to be pressed to type out the word Chrome. Let's run it and see what happens. Now remember, I'm not pressing anything. So Windows key, it types Chrome, hits enter, and now Chrome is open. All right, pretty cool. Let's get it to YouTube. Let's do pg.typewrite, and we'll make this one 0.2. We'll make this one a little shorter. We'll do www.youtube.com. Let's run this thing. It types in Chrome for me, hits enter, type in youtube.com, and oh, I've got a problem. It didn't hit enter. Remember that /n at the end of youtube.com, right? That's going to hit enter for us. Now, did you notice how when I ran this program, and I'll just run it again, it didn't go full screen? Now, in order to get Windows into different full screen displays, you can do lots of different things, right? So one way is to bring your mouse up here and click, but the issue is I don't necessarily know where that button is. Maybe there are some keyboard shortcuts that could help us. So one that I know of is the if you press the Windows key and you press the up arrow, you get full screen, right? If I press Windows and the right arrow, it binds to the right side of the screen. If I press Windows and the down arrow, it kind of goes to the bottom quarter of the screen. So why don't we try adding in one last line after this is done. We'll do pg.hotkey. And the fun thing about using this command, hotkey, is you can actually do things like Control and then C. And that will press Control and C together to help you, copy, or Control V to paste. In this case, what we're doing is we're pressing Win left and then up. That's going to press the left Windows key, and the up arrow is going to make Chrome full screen. So let's try it. So it's going to type in Chrome, hits enter, types in YouTube, hits enter, and then boom, goes into full screen for me. All right, I'm going to leave it there for now. Play around with this, build something fun, make it go to your favorite videos. I'm going to give you one last hint, actually. Let's say I wanted to open a new tab in Chrome after this is done. Well, let's do this, pg.hotkey, and I don't know if any of you know this yet, but there is a keyboard shortcut, Control and T, which opens a new tab in Chrome. So let's go ahead and try it out. What this will do is it's going to press the Windows left key, type in Chrome, hit enter, youtube.com, hit enter. It's going to do Windows left and the up arrow, make it full screen, and it's going to hit Control T, give us a new tab to start working in. See if that all works. All right, there we go.